loophole to using negative circumstances to manifest a positive outcome. Guys, if you are manifesting a lot of negative circumstances and you feel like you are light years away from your manifestation, let me tell you something. You are closer to your manifestation than you think. And you can use these negative circumstances, this perceived negative energy, to actually manifest faster. We are living today in beautiful third-dimensional Earth, a time-space reality where you cannot have light without dark, black without white, and you cannot have an answer without a question. A time-space reality of polarity. We can understand how the law of assumption, the law of attraction affects manifestations, but the law of polarity affects manifestations as well, and we can use the law of polarity to our advantage when we're manifesting. Consider a coin, for example, this penny. The penny has two sides, the heads and the tails. You cannot have a penny with two heads, and you cannot have a penny with two tails. You must have both the heads and the tails in order to receive the penny. So you must have both sides of the penny, both polarities of the penny, in order to have the penny. So the penny is your manifestation. The wish fulfilled is one side of your manifestation, and the negative polarity, the unwanted circumstance, is the other side of your manifestation. So you cannot have your manifestation without both polarities. You cannot have the wish fulfilled without also having the negative polarity, the negative circumstance. And here's the key. You cannot have the negative circumstance without also having the wish fulfilled. In the same way that you need both sides, the heads and the tails, in order to create the penny, you need both sides, the negative circumstance and the wish fulfilled, in order to create your manifestation. So when you are receiving the unwanted circumstance, the negative circumstance, you are actually already receiving your manifestation. You cannot resist the negative polarity of your manifestation and still receive your manifestation. In order to receive your manifestation, you must receive both the negative polarity and the positive aspect, the wish fulfilled, of your manifestation. So when you resist one polarity of your manifestation, when you resist that negative circumstance, you are actually resisting your manifestation as a whole, in the same way that if you resisted one side of the penny, let's say you resisted the heads, you would be resisting the penny as a whole. It is easy to see that the wish fulfilled is your manifestation, but the negative polarity, the unwanted circumstance, is also your manifestation, and this is less obvious. So if you are in a situation right now where you are receiving one polarity of your manifestation, you're either receiving the wish fulfilled, or perhaps you are receiving a negative circumstance, an unwanted circumstance. No matter which polarity you are currently experiencing, you actually already have your manifestation, because you cannot experience just the heads of the penny or just the tails of the penny. If you have one, you also have the other. So if you have the unwanted circumstance, if you're experiencing that now, then you already have the other side. You already have the wish fulfilled, and you already have your manifestation. So there is no lack. There is only polarity. One of the major reasons that people are not seeing success in their manifestations is that they are resisting the negative polarity of their manifestation, and in turn, resisting the manifestation as a whole. So using polarity to manifest isn't saying, okay, I have decided that I want to manifest money and I want to manifest being wealthy. So now I need to only think about money, only think about being rich, and completely ignore, suppress any thoughts that I have related to being poor. I need to completely ignore any circumstances in my life that are related to being poor that don't align with the positive aspect of what I want to manifest. That's not the game. What you need to do to get unstuck and to unblock your manifestation is that you need to stop resisting the negative circumstance. And you also need to understand powerfully that the negative circumstance is your manifestation. When you are able to understand this, and you actually believe that every negative circumstance in your life means that you also have the positive polarity, which is true, then you will be in the wish fulfilled permanently. No matter what is coming up in your reality, you remain in the feeling, I already have my manifestation. I already have what I want. I'm in the wish fulfilled. And so therefore that realization unlocks your manifestation. It unlocks the positive aspect of your manifestation much quicker. So now even the negative is the wish fulfilled. To quote our favorite manifestation boy, Neville Goddard, in the house. All that you can possibly need or desire is already yours. Call your desires into being by imagining and feeling your wish fulfilled. Neville Goddard. So it is not about avoiding the negative feelings and the negative circumstances in your life. It is about also seeing the negative circumstance, the negative feeling, as your wish fulfilled. There is energy in negative things. There is energy in negative thoughts, feelings, and circumstances. Energy that you can use to manifest. Energy that you can transform and mold into your desired outcome, into your manifestation. It is not something to be suppressed, denied, and avoided, because it is potential energy that you can use to your advantage. When you are focusing and manifesting, using only the positive polarity, only using the positive side of your manifestation, you are only using 50% of your manifestation powers. You are only using 50% of the energy that is available to you in this time-space reality. When you are able to hold both polarities of your manifestation at the same time, when you are conscious enough to be able to sit in meditation and feel the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and feel the feeling of the unwanted circumstance, and be able to integrate these feelings, you will double your manifestation power. You will double your manifestation energy. Because obviously we want to be in the positive side of our manifestation. We want to be in the desired outcome, right? We don't want to be experiencing all these negative circumstances. So what we need to do is we need to hold the polarities and we need to merge them both into what we want. So when I'm telling you that your negative circumstance is also your manifestation, I'm not telling you that you have to enjoy the negative circumstance, that you can't have the positive aspects of your manifestation. I am telling you that the quickest way to get to the positive side of your manifestation is to see the negative side as positive. Because when you are perceiving both of these polarities and when you are not resisting either of them, you are able to use the energy of the negative circumstance to add more fuel to the positive circumstance. So if you're sitting there in meditation and you're holding both of these energies and you feel into the negative energy and you allow the negative energy to come over you, you will notice that when you shine the light of your consciousness upon this energy, it actually transforms into light and it actually aligns with your wish fulfilled. Because we consciously chose to incarnate into this time-space reality, a reality of polarity, for a reason. What we are meant to do is we are meant to use the negative circumstance, the contrast, as fuel to propel us towards the positive aspect, the desired outcome of our manifestation. We are meant to use the darkness to create light. And so you cannot actually get rid of the negative polarity of life. Because when we avoid the negative, when we avoid negative thoughts, negative feelings, and negative circumstances, they will still manifest because the energy is still there, but they will manifest in unexpected ways, and we will have less control over how they manifest. When we learn to work with the negative energy consciously, we can control how this negative energy manifests, and we can shape this negative energy into positive energy so that it manifests in the desired outcome that we want. So now instead of being a victim to your unwanted circumstances, instead of being a victim to the unwanted energy, you are now able to see the negative energy as a positive thing, and that shapes and transforms the negative energy into more positive energy, and you are now consciously manifesting. When we learn to work with both sides of the polarity, we will manifest faster and we will have a greater ability to consciously create our lives, because we are no longer denying and suppressing half of the manifestation energy that's available to us. We are using all of the energy, both the positive energy and the negative energy that exists in this time-space reality. When you realize that your current negative circumstance is actually already your manifestation, you then realize that you already have your manifestation. You now know that by virtue of aligning with the negative polarity of your manifestation, you have also aligned with the positive polarity of your manifestation, and you know that the positive polarity of your manifestation is now available to you. And by knowing this, you will manifest the positive outcome. You will manifest your desired manifestation so much faster because you are now in the state of the wish fulfilled. You are now in the state of already having your manifestation. There is no lack, only polarity. Your positive manifestation is a seed that has been planted that you must water and grow by virtue of your energy, your thoughts, and your emotions. So what you need to do is take the energy of the negative circumstance, accept the negative energy, and use this negative energy, transform it with the light of your consciousness until it becomes higher vibrational energy. You can use that energy to water the seed, the potential of your positive manifestation, of your wish fulfilled. You are a vibrational being that can consciously create. You can control energy. By understanding that everything you experience is your wish fulfilled, you remain permanently in the wish fulfilled. There is nothing that can happen to you to break you out of the wish fulfilled because you no longer believe in lack. You understand that there is no lack, only polarity. And so you know that once you have received the unwanted circumstance, that you are in the wish fulfilled, and your unwanted circumstance cannot exist without your desired outcome. So all you have to do is realize that the negative circumstance means that you have already manifested the positive outcome, the desired outcome. And by virtue of realizing that, you will align with the positive outcome. You will align with your manifestation. You are not a victim to the negative circumstances in your life. You are the master who has created both the positive and the negative for your benefit. It's just time that you learned how to use them both to your advantage.